Evening. All right, we are live, OTNG, session 2, episode 11, I want to say.
That sounds right.
Episode a lot. Holy smokes, we've been doing this for a little while. Tonight we have Peter and Ethan. Thanks, guys, for joining.
Mm-hmm.
And when we had last left our heroes, you had entered a tower that appeared under the light of the full moon.
Which is
A
not a good
white,
sign.
milky obelisk tower. Oh, we just dropped Peter. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Peter.
Please
Okay.
pause for technical difficulties. We need some elevator music.
I want to. Here's a research project for you if you want to do it. How can I broadcast sound effects through my VoIP channel, right? Like through my microphone or something. If I wanted to have a button for like applause or a button for do 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 do. Hey Peter, back with us.
Phenomena.
That's a good question. It entirely depends on how Hangouts is recording things and just sending out sound, basically.
Yeah, I want to be able to transmit. I want to be able to transmit some audio over my mic channel, right? My output, and have that. I mean, even if we're just like Skyping or Discord chat or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I want. Go figure it out.
I know exactly what you want.
You're an engineering major.
You're under the age of 30.
My job is taking things that people want, turning it into reality.
Yes.
There you go. My job is teaching kids how to make whistles out of clay.
Build me this flying car.
Damn straight.
Well, I mean, if you want, one of the companies I was at already did that, so.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
Yeah.
Perfect. I need a robotic flying car so I can just take a nap and back and not have to deal with any traffic and just always play Blade Runner soundtrack. Vangelis all the time.
I'm telling you, if we can just fly places and get that vertical component, traffic will be a lot better. It won't be fixed, but it'll be better.
Nah, it'll just be 3D.
It will be, but you have more room to splay out all your cars and vehicles, so.
Yeah.
That's the only advantage to doing it, is you now have the same roadway system, but now you just have multiple levels of the roadway system.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you need air traffic control for all of those, right?
Yes, you do.
What are you doing? I'm working. What are you doing? I'm arresting you.
Unfortunately.
Such
in charge.
Great goddamn movie. Great goddamn movie.
Okay. We are live. OTNG session 2, episode 11. When we last left our heroes, you had entered a tower that appeared under the light of the full moon. You had explored the first chamber to find yourself teleported to the next and the next and the next.
It's disconcerting.
When the last chamber that you entered, you arrived in near complete darkness. Shadows whirling all about you. On the wall opposite you is a gaping, rippling pool of blackness. 6 yards in diameter. 6 yards in diameter. 6 yards in radius. I like radius better than diameter, I think. Frigid, cold. You can see the breath starting to frost before you, and ice skimming the floor. And in the darkness, you heard, "Who's there? Why have they come? It doesn't matter. Get them. Bring them. What will you do?" Oh wait,
we got to figure out who's here. Boobies isn't.
Yes, you all. Let's see.
I nominate Morgan.
I would suggest that Opie, Ichabod, Morgan, and Will are all in this scene.
I like the sound of that. All right.
I think that could be a good thing to have happen. Yes.
Any questions about the scene, the setting, what's occurred, or what's about to occur?
So we popped up, and this like dark amorphous shape is kind of like in the center of the room, or like to the
On the
side of
wall.
the
It's
room.
on the far side of the tower wall.
Okay.
And
Is it a hole or just like a big black shadow shape?
it's darker than the shadows around you.
It's something bad.
And in fact, you're shrouded in darkness. You can just feel, because you're now not carrying a light source, unless you choose to.
I thought we had, isn't the place lit?
This area is not.
Ooh, well
It's
then.
shrouded in blackness, swirling shadows, and darkness. And the only frame of reference that you have about you is even there's a blacker black on the far wall.
Yeah, we're
pool.
Yeah.
We're taking a moment to light a light source.
Well, I was going to say Morgan can just cast her light spell.
Perfect.
Okay.
So Morgan will tap her staff onto the ground and just start chanting under her breath, and you see her staff begin to illuminate.
It goes, the light bursts out, and then it's swallowed up by the shadow. And it's like only partially illuminating the space about you. You can see your companions.
Mm-hmm.
And the black shadows.
I don't know. I remember it being more than that.
All right.
Well, with Opie lighting his lantern, does that help, or is it the same thing? The light is swallowed up and hardly at all helpful.
The lantern adds nothing more to the darkness, and in fact, when maybe you even swing it wide into the black, and it's like barely a flickering candle.
We got to get out of here.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
All right.
Okay.
What will you do?
Let's see.
I think there's only thing of any distinction in here is this dark space.
Yeah, the black amorphous thing.
And then we can see the ground, right? It's not like it's covered with dirt like the last room.
It's not, but it's covered with ice.
I wonder if we can scrape through the
Underneath
ice.
your boots. You want to kick at it or scrape at it?
Yeah, I'd like to see it because that got us past the mushroom room. I just would rather do that than fight some shadowy creature in the shadows. I'd like to avoid a fight if I can.
Okay, sure.
Just saying.
Kicking your boots at the ice, it breaks off a sheet, but the cobblestone floor beneath the white alabaster stone that this whole place is made out of is just as cold and just as slick. And as you're turning to
can I ask a question beforehand, because his sword would obviously be lit? Is my enchanted sword being carried by Ichabod now that he has stepped into the room? Is that helping the color at all?
It is, but it's it extends no further than
us.
Gotcha. And Morgan's radius. Do you want to move away from her and see if you can expand
just a little, or pay attention to what's happening as we're moving around? But I don't want to separate us too much.
Maybe you step, 3 yards away from Morgan.
And you're eaten by a tentacle creature.
And you can, and that illumination broadens just a touch more, and you can sort of make out the nearer wall that you're closest to in the shadowy darkness. And between the two parties, the two groups of Morgan and Will, Ichabod and Opie, you catch a flash along the base of the floor, a rippling of shadows, and something swirls up into the black beyond. Okay, we're now into a melee round. You guys can decide if you're going to go fast or slow, or take one or two actions.
Is urinating yourself a fast or slow action?
Depends on how much you've had to drink. How long it lasts.
Yeah, that's a fair answer.
That's good.
I'm gonna go. Ichabod's gonna go slow.
Okay.
Let's double check what Opie's got here.
Trying to think. I get the feeling our mortal weaponry isn't going to be very effective for Will and Opie.
That's why I think Ichabod's planning on cast if he has to, because he has a new spell.
Yeah. Ooh, does he?
Yes, it is called. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at Opie, who has Rune Shield, who's thinking about casting that on Ichabod.
Oh, is it a spell you cast on a friend?
Well, yeah, Rune Shield, it can cast it on yourself or someone else. But the new spell that Ichabod has is called Fire Blast.
Oh, that's right.
Flames rush out of your hand, dealing 3d6 damage to everything in the area. Each creature in the area takes half. Half the damage with a success on an agility challenge.
Well, if you're going to do that, maybe I should move out of the way.
Yeah, well, it's a cone, so I wouldn't fire it with anybody in front of me or near in front of me.
Sure.
I've seen that happen. In your dad's game, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't playing in it. We were at the next table, but it was funny. We heard it happen.
Oh, my wizard's favorite thing to do was just spell burn and just blow up.
Okay, so Opie's got he's got the lantern. He's got his saber out. Let me double check his spells. He has translate anything and Rune Shield and Brand of Doom. That's the one that, yeah, that's the one where things take damage. If you hit them once, they take extra damage.
Oh, it's like continues to take damage. Sort of.
Right. So once per round for the duration, when the target takes damage, it takes 1d6 extra damage from the rune. Oh. So as long as one person in the party hits it, it's going to do an extra d6.
Once per round. Got it.
Right. But even if everybody in the party hit it, it's still only going to do 1d6 extra.
Right.
Yeah. And the rune shield is you inscribe a rune on the target that remains for the duration. Creatures making attacks with weapons against the target's bearer make the attack rolls with 1 bane.
So are you planning on blasting a fireball, or are you holding that?
My plan is to blast a fireball if there's something to blast. Does that make sense?
Well, no, just if you're going to do that, then I'm going to move slow so I can move out of the blast.
Right. And I'm going to move slow so that I if people aren't, let me find my token. Oh, that's right. It's over here.
I'm getting you a token. Just give
Thank
me a
you.
minute. I'll drop it onto the map here.
Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to go slow because I want to make sure that I'm not blasting anyone else who's on my side.
Because I have no issue. I was planning on casting, so and Will is going to be rapier out, kind of basically trying to position himself in front of Morgan if that's at all possible with this creature.
Okay.
Yeah. And Opie's turning so his back is slightly to them so he can cover their backs.
Okay. You guys are not quite in a
formation.
Not quite in a melee round yet. I need to make a check to see what's going on with the creatures. So give me just a minute to do
No
that.
problem. So my thought, Ethan, is we're a triangle around Morgan.
Okay.
Because the three of us, well, Opie's not tough, but he can hold his own for a little bit. Ichabod is tough. And since there was that adventure where Will wasn't there, he's feeling very protective of her anyway.
Yeah. And Will is quite tough.
Excellent. That's right. He's a ranger.
Oh, yeah. And for whatever reason, the ranger gets the most hit points out of any expert path. So
nice. Well, excellent. Now, didn't we find something last week? We were going, I wish Morgan was here to look at it.
I think you found, so when you were in the chamber with the mushrooms, with the giant mushroom, you found a sort of a
dead elf.
a decomposing elf beneath the soil and the loam. And there were a couple of vials and
Oh, right.
an enchanted object.
That was
see
it.
if I
Yeah.
took notes on the enchanted.
Yep. And the enchanted object was basically it let the user float like an inch off the ground.
That's right, because Opie's floating an inch off the ground,
Yes.
which also is another
Yep.
reason he doesn't leave tracks anywhere he walks.
Right.
This is just getting better by the
Exactly.
second.
And the ground is not slippery beneath your feet, Opie.
Interesting. Good to know.
Yeah, you had found that elven coin with an eye on one side and the X on the other.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. All
All right, I'm nearly to my reference about
No worries.
morale check here.
Yeah, I think if we can form a triangle around Morgan, that'd be great. My plan, I think, is to have Morgan basically just do her burning beam spell
Okay, hang on a second.
at whatever.
And that's more accurate. That's not a cone,
damn
right?
It.
Nope, that is single target.
Excellent, excellent. So I will plan on being the one in the triangle closer to that big black blob.
Okay.
So if something comes out, I will fire the cone of fire into the big black blob.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might have to get to a sketch for you guys, but that's neither here nor there at this point.
Yeah, but so far, theater of the mind, you understand our thinking.
I do, absolutely. And I think we'll leave it as theater of the mind for a little bit.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. I'm having a lot of fun with Morgan being like this nature wizard. So much fun.
Did Aaron get to see Princess Mononoke this weekend?
Mm-mm.
I'm sorry. We should really have a movie night sometime. I can bring DVDs. I still have DVDs.
So you, in the blackness and in the night, you hear a few other things.
Oh,
What have they come?
hello?
Hate them.
Hello?
Them.
No, we taste terrible. Who are you?
We are the creatures of the night. And the room kind of just erupts into this sort of whirlwind of blackness around you, sort of at the edge of the edge of the darkness. Put down your lights so that
No.
see. No. I think that would be a bad idea.
I'm not judging. I'm just stating my opinion.
Morgan's
I'm
chanting.
going to remind you again about the. I'm just going to remind you again about the magic items that you guys have, because
a lot of things aren't going to do anything against these guys.
Well, not exactly. I just want you to remember what you have. You have the crystals from the shrine, the scroll of bless, the clay jar, the elven coin, and the elven vial.
And we don't know what the elven vials do yet.
You do not know what they do yet. Correct.
Elven coin is in Opie's pocket, and it's going to keep him sure-footed if nothing else.
Correct. In this room.
Yeah, he's going to cast. I'm going to cast Rune Shield on myself, I think, just because I believe I have a crappy defense on Opie. That's Ichabod. Oh, but Opie took some damage.
From the last adventure that he was
last
in.
Adventure. I'm at half hit. I'm at half hit points.
You would have recovered.
So I'm back at my max 24. That's helpful. He has a defense of 14. It would help to have a bane against my opponent. All right. Well, that's my plan, is to react, but I'm going to have to. One thing I'm going to have to do is cast on myself.
That's fine.
No, no, I'm not. You said there's something moving all over the room. Can we make?
Yeah, it's like this swirling whirlwind of
darker shadow.
Of shadow, and it's like kind of swirling. It doesn't quite break that threshold of light, that feeble light that's sort of being cast off from Ichabod's sword and Morgan's staff.
Okay. I should cast Brand of Doom on it now, just so if anything does damage it, we have an extra D6 on it. I'm going to cast Brand of Doom.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything?
Yeah, Ichabod is firing cone towards not towards our group, but as soon as that shadow passes directly in front of him where that dark hole is, he's firing the cone that direction.
Okay.
So I've got 2 spells casting.
Okay.
Morgan is kind of trying to retreat herself into the middle of the group, with Will forming the last piece of the triangle.
Okay. And what's Will doing? Sorry, I'm just going through the names in my head and I couldn't remember who it was.
No, so Will
having too many kids.
Will back up so he's in the proper position in the triangle. Anything he sees come out at him is gonna get stabbed by his rapier.
Okay, sure. So I'll give you guys this. You guys can take this round of actions, and then we'll go into a melee round as a result of what's going to happen and what sort of unfolds through those results. So why don't you go ahead and go ahead.
I just say, when Morgan puts herself in the center, she will basically cast her mage armor.
Okay, so she's
nice.
So there's this shifting and this readjustment as Morgan starts chanting and summoning the mage armor around her, and then Opie casts out this runic magic, and then Ichabod just unleashes this unholy cone of flame.
Oh no, it's holy.
Well, it probably depends on
your perspective.
Right?
But from Ichabod's point
gods,
of view,
new gods, you know,
this is the old gods at their best, baby.
Right. Okay, so
and if things are close enough, I'm using my second action to swing that enchanted blade at it too.
It won't be, because this is just that kind of initial action. It's sort of that surprise result.
Gotcha.
And
then let's start with Brand of Doom. Just way anything else does any damage, we'll have an extra. So this is an intellect. This is an intellect roll against the target's agility. What I roll?
Oh, that was me rolling.
Oh, I'd say a 20 does it. Bind a rune to the target for 1 minute, once per round for the duration. When the target takes damage, it takes an extra D6 damage for the rune. So it's not doing anything now, but if any of us can cause damage, it'll take an extra D6. Unless it's immune to magic.
Correct. Let me just
Or it has an intellect higher than 20.
Let me just check my notes.
God, I hope they're stupid.
If it has an intellect higher than 20, we are in some serious trouble.
Oh, crap, and I could have added a boon to that. Oh, I forgot.
Because
Opie can add a boon once per round to any die roll.
Oh, well, I mean, that's a good thing to remember, because you could always just chuck a D6 at it if you needed to.
Oh, good.
In this type of situation, right?
Gotcha.
Oh, shoot, I missed. Well, do you want to use your boon for your trick?
Gotcha. It's a good point, because I might be saving it for something else. Very good point. Very good point.
Let's see here. So the spell goes off.
And I don't think the spell is not like an attack where I'd get an extra action. I don't think it's the same thing at all.
Right. Do you want to sketch the boon? Sorry, do you want to sketch the rune for a boon?
Oh yeah, I've sketched it before. It's a spiral. Oh, and it starts at the outside, and he spins it and pulls his finger back out of the center.
Cool.
And I already know what the shield rune looks like too.
All right. Well, you can draw both of those into the turn order chart if you want, and then I will move them into the background so we remember what they are, and we're all impressed by your artistic powers. Upon which completion, you can take a fortune point.
Okay.
So, blam! This the rune, and you can now see this like rune like swirling in the blackness. And Morgan, you cast your enchanted armor.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like, and what effect does it have?
So you see that as she's standing there chanting under her breath, all around, like just a faint outline of almost this like pale white, moonlight colored energy just surrounds her, just a hair, just a couple millimeters, and basically she gets a +2 to her defense.
Okay.
For the next 4 hours.
Okay.
Nice.
I will ask you to throw a D4 to the table, and I'm going to use it as a counter to track your armor.
So the spiral's a little sloppy, but you get it.
Oh no, it's perfect.
Yeah, I read a lot of Doc Strange growing up. So I love the whole hand signal thing.
Let's see, multi-sided, choose a side.
Oh, you just wanted like a 4-sided thing?
Yep,
Okay.
There we go. That's just, see if
yeah.
Is it
yep. Oh, and the light spell is the same duration, by the way.
Okay, good to know. And these are hours.
Yeah.
I just wanted to have some sort of...
Yeah. Some sort of tracking mechanism.
A rules question. If one has 2 actions, can one cast 2 spells, or is it only 1 spell per round, like it's only 1 attack per round?
Good question. We'd have to look.
Rules, I believe, is 1 spell. Unless you have another skill that says otherwise, I think.
Gotcha. I will look this up while you guys do your thing.
I think you're next here for Ichabod and his fire blasts.
Yeah, so I'll look it up.
Excellent.
On that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're like the what is it they call the keyboard guy for a superhero?
It's too true.
Okay, so Ichabod is casting for the first time ever.
Dun, dun, dun.
Something we like to call Breath of the Old Gods. May it cleanse thee from this place. Oh, all excited and I forgot I gotta click another button. Oh, it was almost a 20, but that's still a 14. That's a total 17. That's pretty good.
17. Okay. What am I gonna do?
I don't know, but does it light the? I take it doesn't light much up beyond itself, just like any other flame.
It's magical, so it sort of blasts out and kind of lights up the room, kind of gloomily.
Yeah, so it'd be not much, but yeah. Still, it looked cool. Well, wait a minute. I got to mark this off my character because I just did it. So.
Okay.
That
so
was mine for today.
Slow turn.
Did it do damage?
I definitely did do damage. Oh, I know what I want you to do. I want you to roll what's the D6 for?
The D6 is for the Brand of Doom that Opiate cast.
Oh, the additional point of damage.
Yeah, the additional. Yeah.
Right. Very cool. All right. Yes, very cool. So let's see.
Now, what would you like me to roll?
3d6 to everything in the area. Each creature takes half. Okay. First, I'd like you to roll a d6 to see how many you catch in this blast.
I believe it's all of them. Can we just say it's a 6? 4 is good.
One of them clearly. So, there's this swirling about your companions as you blast out with the fire branded sword, and this cone of fire, and you're keenly focused and targeted on the one that's been on the knight that's been branded by Opie's magics, his runic magics, and the flame just sort of envelops this thing, this amorphous shape. But behind you can see, but in the cyclone, in that counterclockwise whirlwind of shadow and black, there's still movement behind you. So you struck them with fiery magics.
But they're still here, damn it!
Oh, don't forget to knock down your castings.
I just did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it didn't get OPs, but thank you. Doesn't matter because now I did it. Well, wait, no, the cantrips I can do more than once, can I? Yes, I can translate anything. We're not doing that right now, Peter.
But that's a thing.
But I'm going to cast Rune Shield next, but I've already just cast Brand of Doom.
All right, let's see what happens here. All right, it's a new turn. Will you guys go fast or slow? And this, when you cast that blast of flame, there's this horrible cry that goes out from the dark. Yeah. And it's almost it's coming from all around you, and from the black pool of radiance.
Can't seem to access Opie.
The token.
Yeah.
I will fix.
Thank you. And then move him to fast because I don't know if he can do anything to cause damage, so he's going to cast Rune Shield right now.
I will fix Opie.
And Will is, I mean, Ichabod is the blades, the 3, yeah. Yeah, I like the idea of Ichabod, swirling his arm and the cone shooting out from the, is the blade and all together. That's a great visual.
Mm-hmm.
I see him sort of heading Solomon Caney, Give me a demon to kill. We're cleaning this place up.
Quick. Give me a demon to kill quick.
Because philosophically, Ichabod is coming down to it's us versus them, meaning humans versus all these things that are showing up, and they're the enemy. It doesn't matter what god you worship, the enemy is clear.
The enemy is the enemy.
That's it. And all gods are against those beings. And
at least we hope.
That's just how Ichabod sees it. Opie's not so sure. He just knows things are going to shit. And I think I may have, I pretty much shot my magic wad with Ichabod. No pun. No, my God, it rhymed. But I could eat a crystal shard and possibly blow my brains out doing it.
Get more power.
I think
more power.
I think right now I'm going to wait with him and try to use my enchanted blade.
Okay, go fast or slow.
The things still far enough away from us at peripheral. We have to wait for them to approach us because I'm not leaving our defensive position.
Yeah, nothing's in melee.
Then I will go slow.
Okay.
Yeah. Opie's the only one going fast because he's scared.
Sure. Morgan will.
Oh, we're going slow.
Okay. Go ahead. Opie. You're casting Rune Shield.
Yes.
Rune Shield.
So if anything attacks me, it does so with a bane.
Okay. And this lasts an hour. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and you wanted to know about the slow turn thing?
Yes.
So slow turn, creature that takes a slow turn can use an action and a move.
Okay.
Right. So it's not necessarily two actions. It's like I kind of like it as I don't mind it being two actions.
Mm-hmm.
For my own interpretation, it's just that you can only have one attack, and that attack would be a spell or a.
You only have one concentrated thing
until you get, until you start to level or your character changes and you get more actions.
Right. That should be a specialist thing.
And that would still mean, if you got two actions, it would just mean that on a slow turn you could do two offensive kind of things, right? Two attacks, two spell. I mean, the spell doesn't necessarily have to be offensive.
Right, but it's something that requires concentration. So that's how I see it. You have to concentrate to shoot. You have to concentrate to fight. Whereas running, it's a different kind of concentration. Moving, listening, hiding, that's a different kind of thing than reacting in a combat or trying to make something happen through the mana.
I agree.
Yep.
Excellent. I hope these things are afraid of us and go away and open the door so we can leave. We all live in hope.
So what is this rune shield? Oh, this is the shield that you scribe on your chest, or this rune
Yes,
that you scribe on your chest, or where does it go? Your forehead?
Opie he'd scribe it on someone else, like oh, what's your magic armor do? What AC does it take you to?
12.
We want high or low in this game.
Higher,
don't we?
That's fine.
Okay.
Keep it on yourself.
Well, let's have to talk about some other time whether I can cast that more than once.
It is a utility spell. It's level 0. So yes, how many castings at power level 0 do you get?
I only have 1 right now, but in future, if I could cast another one.
Hang on.
Well, it's a cantrip. So if he is power level 1, then he has 2 castings of a level 0 spell.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So I have a second casting of it.
Yeah.
Just looking for the magic bit in the rule book. I got a hard copy coming in the mail.
Excellent. Ooh. It's a nice book. I like the book.
I guess it's out of print now.
Is it?
Really?
So you're power level 1?
I believe so. I better double check that before I say yes.
Sure.
And that's in Maine. Yes, I'm a power level 1.
So at power level 1, you can cast 2 rank 0 spells and 1 rank 1 spell.
Excellent.
So on your character sheet, there's probably spaces to record that in the spell areas or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just toggle them down as you're casting them, and then when you do the rest, you just hit the rest button and it refreshes all of those castings.
It's extremely convenient.
It is handy, especially if you're a regular spellcaster with a lot of spells.
Oh, yeah.
So I could cast it twice. That's good to know.
So I put a little tag on, a little note on your token, so that remember you have the rune shield with 4/1 out.
Oh, I see. Yeah, nice.
Right. Very cool.
All right. So I think the other 3 of us are waiting to react.
All right. So
or unless Morgan might be firing, I don't know.
And these things are going fast. Sorry, I didn't put a token out for them. They that squealing and the howling. The whirlwind goes faster and faster around you, and then it goes right into that pool of darkness. And there's a sudden stillness around the chamber, around the tower chamber.
Fuck.
What will you do?
Aren't we supposed to be out of here now?
Has our light changed at all?
It has not. It's still cold. The floor is still icy, and it's very gloomy. What will you do?
Do we hear anything whispering to us anymore?
There's no whispering. It's like there was like this rushing of the wind as this whole thing started up, and you could hear those whisperings that were calling to you, and then nothing. A stillness.
Do we have to touch the black thing?
Fuck, I don't want to.
I think
I want to move a little closer to get a closer look at that black blob.
So
yeah.
It's like iridescent, like a mirror, but no light's being reflected back. It's just being sucked into it.
All right.
And it's completely flush, but irregularly. It's irregularly shaped on the wall before you. And it has like a 6-yard radius, so that's like almost 40 feet across. It's big. Well, it's maybe not that big, 20 feet across.
Okay.
How high off the floor? Excuse me, Ethan.
Go for it.
From the floor, it's probably lowest point is maybe 2 feet off the floor.
So if we wanted to take a run to jump into it, we could. If we're feeling suicidal, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you could run and jump at it.
Okay, you were saying, Ethan?
I was gonna say, Morgan is gonna cast her magic sense spell.
It's magical.
Okay, and then also, I figured it was magical, but I figured I would cast it because not only would she be able to sense the portal, but she could also sense the vials as well.
Yes, the vials are magical as well. What does the sense magic do?
I believe it just detects magic. Let me double check.
Yeah, maybe it'll detect the magic stairs on the wall we can't see.
You know if there are any ongoing magical effects in the area and from what point they originate.
Yes, the magic items that you have on your that you have gathered onto your persons, the coin, the shards, this other stuff that we reviewed at the beginning of the session. Yes, they are magical, including the vials.
Okay.
Both Opie and Morgan are radiating strong senses of magic, and
I should hope so.
The black pool on the wall is also radiating magic.
Oh, that's what I can do. So not only does she have magic sense, she has the life sense spell, so she can know the location of any living creature in the area.
Oh, so if anything's living on the other side, if there's anything's living in the black hole, then you'll know it's alive.
Okay.
Exactly.
You want to cast that?
I will cast that.
Mark it down, and there are no other life forces present besides you and your companions.
Okay. That narrows some things down.
Here's the way I see it. Every room's been pretty limited in what it has to interact with. And that's how we get out. This is the only thing we have to interact with.
Exactly.
Fuck.
All right. Will go first.
I was just going to volunteer one of mine, but you're a brave man, sir.
So Will's stepping forward?
Yep.
Okay. Will step forward. Sorry, I'm tangled. Hang on just a second. Let me grab my phone. Emily might be texting me. I'll be right back with you guys.
Yep. So I'm thinking let's have Will run through and then
and I'm gonna make a cup of tea. This might
come back.
What was that, Ethan?
Okay. I said so we'll go first, and then I think follow it up with someone with a light source of some kind, so either Morgan or Ichabod, probably.
Okay, let's do Ichabod, and then Morgan and Opie will bring up the rear with a lantern.
All right.
I'm not going to like this. Nils is going to meet 4 new characters next week, isn't he?
That's what I was saying. I mean, Boobs was basically just there to be on Overwatch to watch us die. Like, that's why he's there.
He's filming it.
Exactly what he's doing.
It'll be on his YouTube channel. Hey, I found a YouTube channel where this guy basically he animates and talks about the games he's played and GM'd and played in, and it's pretty funny. It's called Puffin Forest. But it's pretty good. The guy's honest, so he messes up a lot, so it's at least entertaining. And his animation's kind of fun.
I'm gonna put some tea on myself.
I'm gonna sit right here on my butt. Hey Nils, if you're listening to this, it's just you and me, man. So it's just you and me. Like I said, you may just meet 4 new characters next week because I have a bad feeling we're about to commit suicide by jumping in this black thing. But I tend to be a pessimist, as we both know. Why am I not surprised Aaron didn't do his homework? Oh well. Well, in case you're wondering, Nils, I'm painting Terrain Crate tonight, as well as some Bronze Age undead. I finished off some wonderful Wolf Song last week with all these freaking tentacles. Should be entertaining gang with all those tentacles. That's all I have to say. Hope you had a good board game night. See, Nils, this is why I drink iced tea, because I pour it, I'm done. It feels odd recording nothing. I hear water.
You know, I was just thinking that whenever we get back to town and we have a little bit of downtime with our characters and we'll get some money.
Where would we spend it? The world's falling apart.
Well, no, that's what I'm just thinking. If he can get some money, what he'll do is he'll spend some time with Boobs working on a new type of bow.
Oh, cool, like a compound bow.
Like a compound bow.
Got the only armor-piercing bow on the planet. That'd be cool, because he's a dead shot.
Right, and I mean, as he's leveling up, he's getting his skills that are improving his accuracy, improving the number of shots he can fire, right? So what better way to explain to him that he just has a better bow than everyone else?
Yeah, nice.
So, and I mean, we have ourselves an artificer, so...
I wonder if we should use the Bless Scroll, by the way, before we go in. What do you think?
Why don't I look up how long Bless lasts? Theta G. It lasts for 1 minute.
Oh, well. Well, what good is it?
So it's you touch any number of creatures you can reach and bestow your blessing for the duration, which is 1 minute. The target makes attack rolls and challenge rolls with one boon and cannot be frightened.
Oh, and for 1 minute in combat, that's quite a long time.
Right, it's basically one combat.
It is a combat spell then, okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Would have been nice. I like the idea of most of us carrying light sources on our own and just getting, I don't like the idea, I have this visual of kind of, get absorbed almost like ink as we step into this stupid thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, we have a lot left to explore. I hope we don't die.
Yeah.
It's really early for a TPK.
Well, I mean, see, what's interesting is if one of our characters died, there's some very interesting schools of magic that would be fun to mess with.
Have you looked at any of the expansions?
I've looked a little bit at it, but I mean, even in the base, like...
Oh, I mean, even the core, yeah. I mean, the core is fucking huge.
Doing a teleportation chrono mage would be really weird.
Oh, a teleporting time mage. You'd be Doctor Who.
Exactly.
It would be awesome.
It would. Oh, if any of my characters die, there's going to be something real unique coming out of the woodworks.
I was just telling Ethan I've found a YouTube channel I found entertaining lately. This guy called Puffin Forest, and he animates. Basically, he's narrating games he's played in or games he's GM'd, and there are various role-playing games, but the majority is 4th and 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
But it's funny stuff.
And it's like him doing like that animated drawing where it's like sped up and whatever.
Yeah, it's really crude. It's, like almost South Park level animation. Yeah. It's real simple stuff. But one of them is how his party completely failed. How his players completely failed to defeat the bad guy in the final battle. That's a really funny one there. Yeah, there's a couple hilarious ones. Like the one where he's been playing a Star Wars role-playing game with these guys for a year, and they're in this big scenario, and he admits to one guy, goes, what's really weird, about classic movies is sometimes people haven't seen a lot of them. Like, I haven't actually seen the original trilogy, and the whole game stops. They're like, what? And it just gets worse from there.
That's awesome. I love it.
So it's fun. It's like each one's like 10, 15 minutes.
Could you send us a link afterwards? What's it called again?
Puffin Forest.
Puffin Forest. Fun. Okay. Will steps forward.
He does. He expects death, but he expects nothing less.
So tell me how you approach this.
We should also be
radiant darkness.
We should either hold on to each other or be tied together is a thought I have too, because it's black. It's black.
Okay. Tell me what's happening, or show me what's happening, Will.
So, Will.
We're not happy about this, Aaron.
You're talking about a rope. I don't actually have a rope, so.
I have 2 adventurers kits, one on each adventurer, and it basically says backpack, bedroll, cutlery set, tinderbox, 3 torches, 1 coil of 20 yards of rope, grapnel, weak rations, and a water skin. So we have 20 yards of rope we're tying around each other's waists to tie us together in case it gets too dark to see.
So.
Or we die, at least we die together.
Yeah.
We have a bad feeling Nils is going to meet 4 new characters next week.
So, Will.
What's the order you guys are tied off in?
Will,
Ichabod,
Morgan,
Opie.
So Will takes the rope from Opie and ties it around his waist, and then, Ichabod takes it and ties it around his waist. But then, as Ichabod hands it to Morgan, you see Will come over and take the rope and look at Morgan, who's still muttering under her breath, keeping this light spell alive.
Yeah, he can tie it for her.
And he just takes it around her and just looks, sees those blank, pale eyes of the spellcaster in the midst of their spell, and takes the rope around her waist and begins tying it, and then makes sure that it's double knotted. And, well, he's not sure that's quite enough, so he triple knots it.
It's bowlines. They're not slip knots. Yeah, no slip knots. Only bowlines.
And then he passes it off to Opie to finish it, and puts one hand on Morgan's shoulder, brings his forehead down to touch her forehead, and then turns, draws his bow, nocks an arrow, has it taut, held just beneath his chin, and steps into the blackness.
Okay, take a fortune point for that. That was cool.
That was good.
So you're like stepping through, left leg, then right leg, and it's like stepping into.
I'll be right back.
Oh, sure. I'll wait for you. Oh, looks like he made some tea too.
Yeah, as Opie ties it off, he mutters a little prayer under his breath and puts his hand on Morgan's shoulder and says, "All right, little sister, let's do this." He's still got his saber out, man. No, he doesn't have his saber out. Sorry, he just has the lantern.
And that's
Opie.
Opie that has the lantern. Okay.
Yeah. Ichabod's got a hand free, and he's got his enchanted sword, his other hand.
Okay. That's right. And Morgan has the
light spell.
Light spell.
So the only one who's not carrying a light source, to the best of my knowledge, is Will, but he's got 3 light sources right behind him, and he's within our radius. So,
correct.
And we're making sure we stay in each other's radius of light.
Correct. Gotcha. Yeah, pretty tight.
we're assuming it's protecting us to some degree.
It extends out about like 15 feet. Normally it should do like 30 feet.
Sure. Yeah.
Just getting swallowed up in the blackness of this place.
Literally at this point.
Okay, and Will steps through one leg, and it's like stepping into a muddy pond, and it's cold, but it's not wet, and it goes past your boot, and then up your thigh, and across your waist, and then your torso's in, and your head kind of crosses the surface plane, and then bloop, he's gone.
Do I still feel tension on the rope?
Yeah, I mean the rope's not. I wouldn't say it was taut, but suddenly it is, and like Opie's like getting dragged towards the wall. What do you do, Opie?
Am I the only one? Or are they all in there now?
Oh, I'm sorry, not Opie. Who's next? Ichabod. Ichabod. Sorry, I mixed your order.
He's going to try and brace his feet on the wall to slow the pull.
Okay. You put your feet up on the wall and make an agility challenge.
Ichabod. Agility
with one
bane. Okay, so agility.
And remember, you can use your trickery. Never mind.
No, Ichabod.
You're Ichabod.
But I have a +1 to start with, so it's an even roll. Oh no!
So you go to put your feet up, and you don't hit the edge. You hit the plane. It was a bit of blackness that you didn't see in the shadow, and that's enough to like disrupt your balance, and you like tumble in. And now it's Morgan. She's like sliding irrexibly towards the pool. What do you do, Morgan?
Morgan, she accepts her fate. She just keeps chanting her spell.
And once Morgan's through, it's like a half a second later, and Opie's in complete blackness.
Oh, Opie's right behind her.
Oh, and
yeah, he's got his hand on her. He's got one hand on his shoulder, and the other hand's holding a lantern.
Okay. And when Morgan goes through this, the whole room just becomes black. Whew. And there's that one flickering candle of the lantern, and then you're through. You all find yourselves in that muddy black pond of darkness. Let's see what happens.
Oh, we urinated ourselves. I saw it coming. I got a bad feeling we just got swallowed alive.
You always say that. You always say that.
I meant we go through the door. Did I say we? I meant the door.
And you find yourself standing on top of the mushroom. What the?
God fucking damn it.
And you can see this chamber's lit, and near the base of that archway where you discovered the corpse is that pile of mulch, and you can see some disturbances about that pile of mulch from the giant fungal man. And
the one we annihilated?
Now, when you were last here, there were no exits from this place, but I will remind you that you did
dig a hole.
Did dematerialize from it after some time had passed. And you guys are all standing all four of you are standing on top of the big mushroom, which has this strange aroma now that you notice it. When the adrenaline's not coursing through you, it smells a bit citrusy. Weird.
Does Morgan recognize what kind of mushroom it is?
Oh, because of her natural orders?
Well, natural orders, her magical abilities, a lot of different cross abilities and professions that would give her the ability to say, this is the biggest blah, blah, blah mushroom I have ever seen. Okay. You know, they're highly edible. Or you don't want to eat that.
She does have the nature and the folklore professions, and she definitely.
You
And
could
her religion is
you
witchcraft.
could take an intelligence with a Bane, one Bane.
All right. Hey, look at that.
The mushroom itself is magical.
Okay.
And it doesn't look it. Your natural. Sorry. Yeah. You didn't cast your detect magic thing, but I'll give you that. It is magical, but it doesn't look. It also doesn't look dangerous. It doesn't have any of the telltale marks of a natural poisonous fungi. In fact, it has exactly the opposite. Every telltale sign that would tell you that
Healthy.
it's dangerous indicates that it is
not.
It is not.
Morgan will stoop down and pull Will's dagger from his belt and kind of carve out a little piece of the mushroom.
You hear a little beep from down in the on the floor beneath you.
From the mushlings.
Weep, 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 weep.
The mushlings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you carve a chunk out of it.
Opie's watching for mushlings, by the way. He does not like this.
How big a chunk are you carving, Morgan?
Just about, say, a 2-inch by 2-inch cube, 2-inch cube.
Okay.
2-inch piece.
Sure. It's like a snack size Snickers.
Exactly.
All right.
And she will take a bite from it.
She's gone.
What?
The rope falls slack.
Ichabod looks at Will and goes, we have to eat this mushroom now. Opie's already eaten some.
Will looks down at the dagger that dropped from Morgan.
Morgan still has it with her.
Oh, okay.
Wherever she is. Well, Opie's eating mushroom too.
Yeah, Will eat some mushroom.
And something from right where she cut it too, by the way. Not where he is, but right where she cut some, just to be honest.
All four of you?
Yeah, Ichabod feels it's best to eat from close to the source she ate from as well.
Okay.
Just to be and we're just taking little cuts, just enough to put in your mouth. Don't want to damage the
Little do we know, this mushroom teleports every individual to a random location.
Separately, yeah.
Yeah.
and they're all deadly as hell.
Can each of you roll a d6 for your characters?
You had to say it, didn't you? All right.
Who's this for?
Opie got a 2.
All right.
Ichabod got a 2.
Okay.
Morgan got a 4.
2 and 2 equals 4.
Got a 1.
Oh man! I told you to roll 2s.
Okay. So Will's the last one to take the chew on the mushroom. He watches all of his friends just kind of vanish, in a puff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still got the rope tied around his waist, but there's no one still attached to it. And he looks, and something kind of happens momentarily, maybe, but he's still standing on top of the mushroom. What the? Morgan finds herself in
someplace safe and pleasant,
full of rainbows and pretty deer
and Unikitty.
Yeah.
My Lego club is, because the weather's been crappy, they didn't really want to go over to the other building and play with the Legos. They've wanted to watch the Lego movies at lunch, so that's what we've been doing.
And she finds in this room her familiar for the rest of her life, right? Yeah.
Yeah, a Lego cat. That's perfect.
Exactly.
Hell, I can paint that.
There you go.
I got these cool big crates from Micro Arts for anything, but I'm going to use them for Woolsong. But I guess you're supposed to make them sealed, but I left one end off of each of them because I think you could hide things in them. And honestly, you could put, heck, I can put a Reaper Bones a werewolf figure in the damn thing and close it up. So it'd be good to like put objectives or hidden things or like, you know,
like
if you...
like a girl that jumps out of the cake.
Oh, you had to go there.
So you guys threw a 2.
Both my guys threw a 2. They're not very original.
You know, I will say, if we all survive this, we should get some sort of picture of the 6 characters or some drawing of the 6 characters, because that'd be really cool.
Got to work on that. Yeah, I've had some ideas already, especially for boobies. I've got all kinds of ideas for you.
And say, if you want to know what I'm thinking for my characters, I can, you know.
Definitely. And I like the idea of the mage armor. That's a cool visual.
Yeah.
Okay, who shall we start with?
Well, how about ladies first?
Ladies first. All right.
And it may be Ethan, but for some reason I feel protective about the little girl in the party. yeah, I know it's just Ethan, but something about it.
It's such a weird twist having a 14-year-old girl in a party.
I know, and that's one of my students right there. That's like an 8th grade girl. I'm like, I got to take care of that. I got to look out for that kid. I'll show her how to draw. Show her how to make whistles out of clay.
So the first thing that you notice is the smell of incense, spicy and pungent, in this chamber that you find yourself standing in. In fact, standing on top of a plush cushion, and thrown all about this room are more cushions and made of rich fabrics and plush rugs. Make a strength challenge roll with a 1 bane.
Oh, crap. All right.
That's our worst feature.
It's exactly what our worst feature is.
The bane is what did it to you.
Yeah.
Do you want to burn a fortune point and turn that 6 into a 1?
I would, but I don't have any, so just not fortunate today.
And I can't burn one because I'm not there.
She settles down into like 3 of these large cushions nestling her back. Right, let's go to Opie and
Ichabod. How fortunate they rolled the same thing. Do we have a picture of where she ended up, or is it not one of them?
We do. I'll
okay, I just wanted. I hadn't moved the picture around, so I wasn't sure if I was cheating us of something, or whoever's watching.
Mm-hmm.
So while it was just me, I was talking to Nils because I figure he'll watch it at some point.
Here is Morgan, and here is.
Wait a minute.
Opie and.
Oh, too small.
Ichabod.
I'm not seeing anything new yet.
How about now?
I just saw the circle. I don't see a picture of anything now.
Let me fix that.
And you know how much I like pictures.
Mm-hmm. I see what the problem is. Possibly.
Well,
I blame the dissolution of the nuclear family.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what can you say? What you gonna do when your parents are killed by demons?
It's a hard knock life. It really is.
Can you scroll up on the map or zoom out?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, down what now?
No,
it's not below.
Just stay where you are. Let's stay right where you are. Try refreshing your browser just out of curiosity.
Loading.
I don't see the updated one either.
Weird.
No, I see shimmers of things when it moves around, but
yeah.
But we're used to that.
Yeah.
I think it's a premonition.
Mm-hmm.
And And you gave Morgan the figuring out it's a magic mushroom simply because her nature skills are so good that she knew without a doubt there's nothing natural about it. It had to be magic.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that premonition you're getting, that's my future chrono mage who's going to take one of my characters' places when they die.
Can you see Morgan on the map?
No.
Weird. Players see light.
How did you light up the other rooms when you did it?
I'm doing it the same way.
Of course, yeah. Did you do Polygonus Revealus?
I could try that next.
I think you have to say it. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure you have to say it. It work. All players.
It was like Gerda. She had to make some kind of intonation, or I failed my roll.
Mm-hmm.
I have this gut feeling that one day we're going to have another adventure with that group, and I do look forward to it because that was a good group of characters.
Let's see what's different about this token. Oh, that's the problem. These tokens need to have sight. They emit light, but they don't have sight. Now, shall see what you shall see. Plam, plam. All right. Standing before you, Opie, Will, is a black obelisk made of stone, 15 feet tall, 6 feet across, all around.
Is there any writing on it?
You see this floor strewn with black stones, each the size of a human fist. And you can see as you transport into this room and you kick one of the stones with your feet, green lines start to light up and writhe across its surface.
When Ichabod does it, because Opie's not touching the floor by about an inch.
Maybe Opie kicked one of the stones with his foot.
Well, there's two of us there, so
sure, or even Ichabod. There was a disturbance, and you could see them.
And the disturbance causes lines to appear in the monolith.
Green lines. No, on the stone, on the fist-sized stone.
Oh, do they appear to be letters or words, or is it just lines?
No, it's like just you can start to see the faintest kind of like these runic ley lines going crisscrossing and branching out from where your foot touched it, Ichabod. All right, let's pause here for a moment and
find out where
how
Will
the hell
is.
We're going to manage. Oh, and Will is still back in the mushroom chamber.
Yeah, I do see Morgan now.
How do I keep losing my characters? I think I closed them instead of...
Dude, it's my chrono mage who teleports people.
That's it.
So you're... let me just quickly reset the scene, and then we'll go kind of round-robin style.
Mm-hmm.
Since you guys are sort of split.
That was not by choice.
No, it was not.
Opie and Will are standing in the chamber with the big black monolith, and that's strewn with these fist-sized black stones. And when one of them was disturbed, green arcane runic lines began to spider out from the stone. Morgan is reclining on 3 of these cushions in this plush chamber.
Pillows.
And
that might be the worst. That means there's a big spider.
And Will is like standing looking on top of the mushroom going, where is everybody?
What the fuck?
That's exactly what his reaction is.
All right.
What the
What will you do?
First question.
We'll start with
Opie's
Opie
knowledge.
and
With Opie's knowledge of runes and having worked and figured out ley lines in the city and stuff, and hanging out with that old man, does he recognize or does anything click about what's going on with the lines and the stone? Is there something I recognize or something I can go, hey, wait a minute.
Waking up.
Oh shit.
Okay, then we'll leave it there because you have this sudden realization and you point to Ichabod and go, oh shit. And then let's go down the line to Morgan. What will you do?
Morgan will yawn and contemplate if she wants to get up from this luscious pillow.
Okay, make another strength challenge with 1 Bane.
Come on, 20. 20, 20, 20. She does it.
You're like, yeah, like laying back and your eyes are like dropping and you're like, they come awake and they're dropping and they come awake and they're, it's like the toddler that's trying not to fall asleep. Okay, let's go to Will. What will you do?
So Will's kind of standing on top of this mushroom, confused.
Eat more.
I would say, yeah. He goes and goes to a different part of the mushroom and carves a piece and eats it.
Okay, roll a d6.
See, very Alice in Wonderland is my thought. Just don't roll a 1 because that means you stay where you are. Is my guess. Well, good. That's neither where we are. Would you? You're not being helpful. Didn't you get the memo? Crap. Well, at least now we know what another room is. This is okay. This is all right. Now I have a theory. If we survive, how we move forward, but it's just a theory.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Is it a tree?
It's Superman.
Oh, ghostly, weird creature things.
Crap.
Okay, let's go back to Opie and Ichabod.
Opie.
It's like this weird. It's like this montage as the camera like flashes back and forth between you guys.
Sure, well, or it's like a issue of X-Men where this team got split up. You get like 3 panels of each.
Right, of different stuff going on.
Right. So my 3 panels, Ichabod's gonna step back towards the wall, and Opie's. What do I feel like is waking up? That big stone in the middle, or something else?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I feel like something's about to wake up. Do I feel like it's the stone in the middle of the room, or is there something else coming?
No, it's like the stone with the lines growing on it, the fist-sized stone that got kicked by Ichabod's boot.
Okay, so the monolith is not what appears to be waking up.
Correct.
Opie's going to try something with his. He's going to try moving toward. I want to go towards the monolith and see if I can just walk right up it, being 1 inch away from it.
Oh, you want to like try to? Oh, you want to
almost
put
move
your
like
boot on it?
Yeah.
And like try to walk up its surface like this. I don't know if you can see. Like kind of leaning back and trying to put your feet on it and get some kind of purchase.
Yeah, almost like Bugs Bunny.
Okay, you do that. You like lean forward and you put your boot up towards the
monolith.
The obelisk, the black color of
Death.
Of obsidian. Oh, it's a black color of obsidian. And as you're like walking up towards the obelisk and you raise your boot, all of the stones around the edge of the monolith, they all flash this brilliant green light, and legs jut out of either side like 6, and they all kind of go and start scrabbling Okay, let's go to...
Legs sprout out of the little rocks.
And they all start scrabbling about. We're going to...
Ooh, next panel.
We're going to... Will. No, we're going to Morgan, pardon me. So she's like fighting, staying awake here in this chamber.
Yeah, there's like a little voice in the back of her head that's kind of, if you knew what he sounded like, a little bit like Rodolfo kind of sounded in the back of her head, like, get up, come on, don't go to sleep. You killed me, remember? Get up. Would you like me to make a strength check?
What are you doing? Are you just trying to stay awake?
Are
you doing anything, or are you just like trying to shake yourself alert, or what's going on?
I'm trying to get myself to an alert enough state that I can actually begin looking at the rest of the stuff in the room.
So you're trying to wake up. You're conscious of making an effort.
And like look around and check out the room. Okay, go ahead and make your strength challenge.
Okay.
With 1 bane. And she's like trying to, and you know,
she's out.
Rodolfo's like, get up, little one, get. Oh, forget it. Okay, let's go to
Will.
Hang on just a second.
Yep.
I'm just skimming some notes.
Go for it. Get some more time to plan.
I think I'm toast. I have absolutely no idea how to deal with this.
It's distinctly possible. Distinctly possible.
I should have tested my theory on the wall. I'll do that next. I'm wondering if this coin in my pocket's going to give me ability to walk up, surfaces. It'd be entertaining, you must admit.
It would be entertaining.
Extremely entertaining.
Okay, I'm good. So Will, that shape that you see in the drawing on the map before you is like this huge white shroud that's like pinned at the very tippy top of the ceiling, and then it like kind of cones down, fans down, and you can hear that whispering coming from the other side of the curtain. What will the master say?
Okay. I take that handkerchief that I had from the room with the fungus, get some more fresh water on it, wrap it around my nose and my mouth. Then I take out a torch, my tinderbox, light the torch, and put the torch into the curtain. And then I draw my bow and knock an arrow.
Okay, we'll come right back to you. Ichabod and Opie.
We're backing up to the wall because it looks like it's going to get nasty in here, and I'm thinking the wall might be a better place to try my theory.
Okay. So you go backing up, and
carefully so as not to disturb any rocks.
Sure. Let me just skim some notes here about what you're dealing with.
As long as you're not skimming rocks. We're trying to be non-threatening here, by the way.
Got you.
Oh, crap.
Which is the exact opposite of what Will's doing.
I'm going to get pummeled to death. I just know it. It's going to hurt.
Probably.
I need a new window. Learning how to navigate the digital books is kind of interesting, and how to be efficient with them, stuff like that.
I'm too old to be efficient with them. I really prefer paper. I'm just.
I do too. I mean,
Me
but
too.
the idea about, like I've just, I have my rule book open in one tab. I have the adventure open in another tab, and I'm like, oh, I need another page open for the rule book. So I just created another tab with the rule book. So
Let's see, that's using it efficiently. Yeah.
that's kind of interesting, right?
You just gotta get multiple monitors set up.
That too, that would work.
I think a big iPad would work. Like if I were to con, if it had decent Wi-Fi, because then you could have all your rule books on your iPad. But you have to have good Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean, it's why when I'm DMing, I've got my laptop, a hard copy, and my iPad all running at the same time.
I bet.
Okay, let me take a reaction roll here to see what's going on.
And again, Opie's trying to read the situation and see if he can figure out.
So this is the reaction roll for Will. Not good.
I'm not surprised.
Don't beat around the bush, Aaron.
And also not good. Bad all around. So.
Will probably has a fortune point though, so.
He does.
you might need it.
Few things are happening. Let's see.
The more you sound like Sullins, the more trouble we're in.
Oh, perfect.
I got another package to do today from Drew, the last bunnies for the Kickstarter client.
Cool. All right, we're into a melee round. Will and Ichabod, these things come just, you're like backing up. You're like, I gotta approach this in a different direction, and the green lights are. It's like kind of like a chain reaction, like, and all these stones start lighting, waking, and shaking, and 6 legs pop out of them, and they kind of turn in mass and like start clattering and clacking like stones falling over each other as this wave of these stones start boiling towards you. Will you go fast or slow?
Fast!
Fuck.
By the way, for the record, I'm not surprised. And neither is Will, by the way. Will is not surprised at the moment.
Here we go. We have Ichabod and
there's our charter.
Opie. And Opie, you still have your rune shield up. But at the end of this combat, it will go. It hasn't been that long. It has been like 30 minutes.
Okay. Well, I don't assume that these things.
Sure. That's in part one of the reasons why I wrote it down, so I could sort of help remember myself.
Perfect. And I also assume that when we changed rooms, maybe things don't go with us like that. So
right.
Who knows? This is freaking Alice in Wonderland, literally.
It's fantasy. I mean, what the heck?
That's it. That's it.
Okay, so you guys are going fast. You get to take the first action. What will you do?
How big is this wave of things coming towards us?
Big.
We can't take a running jump and get over it, right?
Well, it would be like 3 men like crawling over the ground towards you big.
Oh, crap. I mean, if it was like, a 3-foot wave pouring towards us.
You could certainly take a running jump. I mean, you could do, would just figure out what the
boon or bane is.
What the challenge would be, if any, right? I mean, just
sure.
Let's figure out what we want to do, and we'll do it.
I think first we need to take a run, try to run away from this. First question: is there any way I can outrun this? Does it just look like it's too fast?
It if you move, you could stay ahead of it, but you'd get to the edge of the wall.
Yeah, we'd be running a circle. Would be my thought, but
you could try to run around and away from it and see what you could.
My goal is to touch the monolith. I have a feeling that's what I need to do. It's black. It's like the inky blackness was black.
Okay. Good.
So my goal is to either get over this thing to touch it to get out of there, or to get around and outrun it and touch it as I come around. Okay. So that's my long-term goal. That's why I was asking all these questions. No, I should have told you what I wanted to do.
That's helpful too. So right now the monolith is kind of here, and you guys are here, and the swarm is sort of coming at you, and you kind of want to run around it. That's kind of what I was hearing. And
if that is easier than making the running leap over them, like I said, if it's a 3-foot wave, I'd take or 4-foot wave, I'd take a leap over, a diving jump. But
okay,
if it's bigger than that, then I'm going to try to do the circle around.
Yeah, you could definitely try to take the jump across. It would be an agility with a bane.
Okay.
To be able to actually 2 banes to get across it, because it's pretty big. I mean, it's like three guys big crawling on the ground sort of thing.
Okay, so agility with a bane, with 2 banes.
2 banes, yeah. Or an agility attack against the creature to try to kind of outrun it and stay ahead of it, so that next turn you could touch the obelisk. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes perfect sense. If Opie were alone, he would do the dive. I don't, because he's got a +3 to his agility. I don't think Ichabod could. So they're not going to split up. They're going to make the run. Go, 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 go!
Run around.
Run! Get around the thing and touch the monolith.
So this would be agility checks for you both.
All right.
And you're making an agility attack against their target agility, which is 13.
Okay, here. Let me get to the right level here.
Who is that for?
Man. That is Ichabod. Let me find his character sheet, which is now buried under my various
windows and tabs.
Various windows and tabs, exactly. Where the hell is it? Because I was watching you. You were entertaining. Now I can burn a fortune point. What will that do? Can I make that a success?
You can burn a fortune. Well, you didn't have any banes or boons. But you could.
I should have had one. I should have had one boon. I have a +1 to my, just a base +1 to my agility.
Just a base +1 to your roll. So you're right now. You're at a 6. So if you want to use a fortune point, I'll let you add a bane at a 6. And,
which would make it a 12.
Which would make it a 12. Which would not enough, because you need a 13.
Ooh.
So.
Can he burn a fortune and Opie burn a fortune to help him?
I don't think it's worth it, but
I think he could. Yep. You could both of you could burn. So
let's see Opie's roll. Let me see Opie
first. Let's see how Opie does first.
That's a legit call. This would be, here is Opie. He's got a much better chance in agility. Watch me roll worse though. Click out the characters. No, Opie totally makes
so
it.
I mean, Opie, so show us what happens about how Opie beats the challenge, and how Ichabod just fails at it. And then tell me how you want to use that second fortune point, if you do.
Well, Ichabod's trying to move and he's freaked out, and these stones are kind of slippery, and it's like trying to run in a dry riverbed, and he's moving as best he can. Opie's he's like on a track, because he's 1 inch above everything and not affected by any of this. And he spins in a dime, and as he's turning around and sees Ichabod scrambling, he grabs his wrist and pulls, and he burns a fortune point to make sure they get the hell out of here. And as they do this, he's diving forward, holding on to Ichabod's wrist.
Oh, like reaching for the obelisk?
Yeah.
Okay, so
as Ichabod's scrambling behind him, rocks flying everywhere.
Okay,
but Opie's just slick, like I said, like a runner on a track.
Yeah, I mean, this is this is what he does.
Yeah, that and the damn coin certainly helping. Best thing we found all adventure. That's all I'm going to say right now.
All right, so you touch the stone, and your hand turns black, and your forearm turns black, and your torso and it's like crawling up your neck, turning black. And now we'll go to.
Yes, perfect. Nicely done.
We'll go to.
You turn the page, and it's
Morgan. Sleeping.
Nicely done.
Roll a d6, Morgan.
Wake up, Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
At least she's not getting pummeled with rocks.
Okay.
Yet.
Very cool. So, now we're going to Will, who just like fires the
that was fast. That's not a good sign. That was really
fires the curtain, and it just goes up in this conflagration, like, and behind the curtain, the curtain's kind of in the center of the room towards the far back edge of this circular chamber, and off to your right there, you can see that faux archway, right? The decorative arch with the that's sort of slightly outset from the wall, and you can see Morgan curled in this archway, just curled up in a little ball, sleeping. And something there's some movement that catches your attention out of the corner of your eye, and you look, and there is this large statue, not quite David kind of big, maybe half the size of David. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's pretty impressive.
Right.
But it's not quite that big. And so it's this beautiful man with his hand outstretched, and coiled about him are these serpents. Is it one? No, there's two heads. Wait, two? Could it be four?
Oh no.
Roll a perception challenge with one bane, please.
Criminy.
Actually, roll straight perception challenge. No bane.
Crikey.
I have no idea how many heads there are, but there's a lot of them.
Snakes on that thing.
Technically, I'd say it's a buttload.
Yeah, it's a nice way of putting it.
They hiss, and they start, winding down this statue towards you pretty quickly. But we're into a melee round. Are you going to go fast or slow? Morgan is slumbering in the alcove, in the recess of this archway. Will you go fast?
I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go crazy.
I will go. I'll go fast.
All right. Cool.
And I think our key is to not fight things. It hurts us when we fight things. It's just my opinion.
I just hope the fire that this curtain caught, it holds them at some bay of some kind.
No, I mean, it like went up like a conflagration. I mean, it was
basically like flash paper,
almost
basically.
like a flashbang fire, magician kind of fire.
Yeah, it was like some flash paper. Okay, yeah.
All right, what are you doing with your action, Will?
I am running as quick as my short little legs can take me towards Morgan in like some sort of attempt to as I'm running, basically trip over Morgan's leg to try and wake her up.
Okay, so you're going to race to Morgan and try to wake her. So you get to her and you skid to a halt, and you're about, and you turn and look over your shoulder, and one of the snakes is up on its whole. It's writhed up, and you see one head looking at you, and then a second one comes and looks at you from lower, and they're like changing like positions, and it's hypnotic. Make a
trust in me.
Oh wait, this is a monster.
Just in me.
Okay, well if I can survive this,
close your eyes.
I know what I'm gonna do.
Trust in me.
If the item works the way I think it does.
Okay, we're gonna get there.
I love how we put our faith in magic items and we're not sure what they do.
They know what it does.
Like I just turned my 2 characters to stone. The trick was to be beaten by the rocks. That's how you get out.
Yeah.
Let him hit you. That's all you need to do.
Will has to make a will challenge?
Mm-hmm. His name's Will.
Oh boy. Nope.
You go motionless, and your eyes are big, and you just can't leave the pattern that these serpents are weaving.
Did I at least trip over more?
And now you see the second one is like winding its way towards you. And this one has 2 heads too. And your eyes are big. You just can't
look away.
Look away.
All right, I'll burn a fortune point if I can.
We'll come back to you, but
okay.
But it's bad at the moment.
It's bad. Ah, I see. Okay, so
there it is. Too many notes.
Oh, never mind. Sorry, I had something.
And we're back at Opie and Will. Could you roll a d6 for me, please?
Is this good or bad?
I think this is teleporting you again. Hey!
Oh crap! Are we in the room with the snakes?
I sure hope so.
But yep. you can see Morgan from this room.
Yeah, so you're all now back together. It's a new round. Will you go fast or slow?
I'm going fast.
So let's see. Where would you guys appear? I know. So you guys, Opie and Ichabod, you step out from behind the statue, from the last fluttering remnants of ash and soot from the fired curtain.
Is Will been in here?
And you can see Will like looking over his shoulder, like frozen, as this serpent, this 2-headed snake, comes riding, slithering its way towards Will as he stands kind of protectively but motionless over Morgan. All right, will you guys go fast or slow?
I'm going
slow.
Go ahead and let's see. Was that slow for Will?
Yep. I need to see if I can get out of this gate this daze, because if I can.
Yeah, I don't think you had the option to go fast or slow, really. So look, there's an Oribus there. That's not good.
As Opie and Ichabod look around, maybe come around either side of the statue, you can see maybe 10 feet away from you a serpent.
I'm not surprised.
Doing this kind of weird slithering in the air as its 2 heads sort of rotate from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Where its tail should be, a head is, and where its head should be, there's a head.
Mm-hmm.
Thing.
So it's like cat dog, but with snakes.
Yes, exactly. Snake. It's snake.
Snake. It's a push me, pull you reptile.
It's a snake.
If you saw Dr. Dolittle or read the books. I'm going fast because I'm charging there to kill the snake because it's going after,
so Ichabod's
after my
charging.
party member.
Okay, great. How about?
Does Opie see more than one snake?
So there are two.
I thought so.
There's one slithering towards Will and Morgan, and there's one sort of 5-10 feet away from you from the statue, which you guys just stepped out from behind.
Opie's going after the one that hasn't seen us. Ichabod is going to stay between the party and the one that is following up. Does that make sense?
I think I'm gonna have to draw a sketch just to give us all a frame of reference, and then we can go back to the theater of mind, just for amusement's sake. So, let's see.
Because it doesn't matter if you yell fire.
Yelling fire.
I got a box full of rabbits from Renaissance manuscripts.
So this is kind of this is sort of the rough chamber shape.
Wait, let me
Here's where the statue is. This is where the archway is. And Morgan and Will. I think it's actually reversed, but you guys get the idea. There's a snake here, and there's a snake here.
Okay.
And Ichabod and Opie are on either side here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
See it in your mind's eyes now?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to take us back to the other map.
So which one is it? Just real quick, is Opie the one on the north or the south of the statue?
Which would you like?
Oh my God, total backstab. I think it would be best if it were Ichabod to the north.
Okay. So you guys are going fast. Why don't you take your actions? Tell me. Why don't you tell me what you're going to do, and then we'll figure it out. Opie, what's Opie doing?
Opie is coming up in that last one, the southern of the two of them, to come at it from behind and get a beautiful backstab in on it.
Oh, it's like kind of sort of like creeping up on it, like
damn straight, moving silently and 1 inch above the ground, not leaving footprints.
Oh, I like it.
Because we got some trickery available. Let me just double check my skills and talents so I don't do anything stupid like to get something important. And I'm going to add the boon once per round. Yep. I'll do that. 20 plus. Yep. Equal to healing rate. Don't worry about it now. Perception roll. Can't be surprised. Well, I'm not worried about that part either. My spell, I have left one cantrip, which could be.
Oh, sorry.
You're doing that.
I'm looking at your character sheet too. You're like, what's wrong with this thing?
That's fine. And I've my rune shield I erased because I assume it's down now. Because you said after the last encounter it would be gone. It is
not actually. It's still sort of. This is because of the time. It was only minutes really.
Okay.
If that. Like
you had just said after the last one it would be gone, so I just wanted to.
Well, we haven't really finished this encounter because because all this weird stuff's been happening in.
I am happy to keep it. I'm happy to keep it. So
I'm just taking a look at your character sheet here.
Yeah, let you please, because you may go, oh no, wait, don't forget that you can. But I think I've got it.
So you can make to creep up on this thing before it can see you, and to make an attack with an extra boon. You can make an agility challenge with a boon because of your, the no footfalls falling from your your levitated state and those kinds of things.
It's 11.
That's a pass.
It is. So now attack this fucker.
So all right, you're like drawing back. Which weapon are you going to attack with?
I'm going to use saber because that's what I have in hand to hand.
Okay, so you're drawing back to deliver this vicious cut, and one of the heads does this weird thing where it kind of turns around and looks at you, Make a will challenge.
I'm trying not to look at the faces for the record.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the cut. Okay. Come on, Opie. Fuck.
And you go.
I'm burning a fortune. I'm burning a fortune.
Oh, you're going to burn a fortune
I'm
point?
burning a fortune, damn straight.
All right, so I'll let you add a boon with a 6. I think this is a little bit not exactly how the fortune works exactly per the rules, but I like it.
Okay.
You know, it's like fate points and Warhammer, but maybe at the end of the session we'll look at how fortune really works, so we can all be reminded. I'm not bothered. So like, you see the head turn and look at you, and it like slows your cut until what happens?
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Oh, you're asking me?
I am sorry. I should have said and what happens, Opie?
I don't look at the eyes. I'm looking at the mouth and cutting.
Okay.
Swinging. Ah! But I'm avoiding the eyes because there's no way anything normal did that to Will. So I'm trying not to look directly at the thing. I'm trying to look around it. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah, like kind of like almost like that fuzzed out, like looking at nothing but looking at everything at the same time.
You get it. You get it. I've seen you swinging a halberd. You get it. Okay. So I have my regular boon on there. It's already part of the roll.
Ooh, damn! Look at that. Let's see. Its defense was 16.
Oh, what? I beat it by 5. I get another action.
Let's see. How much damage did you do?
According to that, 4.
4. And you get another action, but you
and I do another D6, a trickery option once per round, plus plus another D6 damage. That I don't add it automatically.
So you want to roll your extra D6 of damage, and we'll see what happens there.
So there's another 4. So a total of 8.
All right. Yeah. So I think it was the one that was the head that was down low that turned to look at you that you cut.
All right.
And you know, it just whips itself back around, like out away from your flashing blade.
All right.
And now, Ichabod, what is Ichabod doing?
Wait.
Oh, you get the second action.
I get a second action.
Are you going to use it in combat, or what are you going to use it for?
I would like to use it to hit this thing again.
All right, give it a shot.
This thing's big enough to swallow me whole. I'm scared and I don't like it.
It could probably swallow your leg and then work on the rest of you.
All right, but because this doesn't get the boon, I'm just going to put a bane on it that should balance, right? Should we just not?
Because you have an inherent bane, or sorry, you have an inherent boon, correct?
Well, the boon is once per round, but this is a second attack in the same round, so I don't get this boon on my second attack redetermined.
For your trickery, right? But what I'm saying is, on your character sheet, you inherently get a boon, or
yeah, the way we wrote Saber, I have to add another weapon to be second attack or something, and different without the boon on it, because I have it set up with a boon.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Yeah, and you get that boon because of. Oh no, I think you get that boon because of the. Just roll a d20 just roll an even d20.
That solves a lot of problems.
That solves everything. Because I think this boon is on here for trickery.
Yes!
Oh, geez. What? A 17, another hit. Roll your damage. That's it. D6
Saber.
plus 1.
Seven points.
Wow. What a cut.
Opie he's pretty good.
Hang on, let me just say hello to the wife. She just came in.
No problem. And I'm gonna write this up on Opie. Saber first. Attack.
See, if you guys hadn't shown up,
2d6 plus 1.
I was gonna try and break from the trance and then take the jar of infinite languages from Morgan and go all snake tongue on these guys.
Sorry to put a break in the action.
Oh, good idea. You may have to do that anyway.
Right. 7, eh? Let's see.
Yeah, Opie has done some damage to the back.
So you cut the head and you drive it back, and then it's like this quick counter cut where you like nearly sever the the torso of it, the lower portion of its torso, or what's on the bottom. I don't know. Does that make sense?
I know exactly what you meant.
All right. Ichabod, what are you doing?
I'm running forward and hitting this thing. Hold on.
Oh, you're just charging it.
I'm charging this thing to stop it from going near Morgan. And I'm yelling, Morgan! No, Morgan. Will's the one just standing there blank, right?
Yeah.
Yep, Will's standing there blank. Morgan is sleeping, and you're yelling, Morgan!
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 Will! Morgan! Will! Wake up!
Okay, hang on a second.
There we go. And I've added in the extra D6 for the first one as well, so should do all of it automatically.
You can stop and yell at your companions and try to wake Morgan, or you can charge.
No, I'm just charging.
To melee. All right. So you start to yell when as you're delivering the blow, and you go to deliver the blow, and you get a glint of one of the serpent's eyes, looking back at you.
I'm doing the same thing. No, please, no. I think the same strategy, just for the record.
Will challenge.
No, we're rolling a 20.
Okay, let's see it.
Come on, 20. Oh, part of a 20.
50% of the way there. 50% of the way there.
Yeah. You get there and like you sort of skid, like.
Wow.
But your blow doesn't carry through. All right.
Am I frozen? Am I frozen like Will?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure.
You
big dope Ichabod.
Let's see.
Okay, after this adventure, we're buying mirrored sunglasses. It would really help right now.
These things.
Let's hope Morgan wakes up.
Oh, please.
So.
Wait, I gotta move Ichabod over to slow.
Well, we're gonna come to a new round, and we can work on that.
Well, technically speaking, the snake that Opie just whacked was the one that was mesmerizing Will.
Possibly.
There are four heads.
Its effect is carrying forward. So we'll get there. Because the round is just about to end. As what is this? What's going to happen here? They hate you. Let's see what's happening here.
Oh, who hates me? That is wrong.
Okay, so the one that is in melee with Opie, it just slithers away. You can make a free attack at it.
Damn straight.
With no, it would just be a straight D20.
Excellent. So let's see how this is my saber follow-up. I just added this.
Oh, good, nice. Yeah, so like you just it was like cut, counter cut, and then like you to go to deliver that next cut, and it's out of your range. It's incredibly.
All right, now let me just test the saber first attack because I changed the damage on it, and it's got the automatic boon already set in it. There we go. Let's see. So
I see it with a D20 plus 3 plus a D6 boon.
Yep, and the damage.
And the damage as
2d6 plus 1. Cool.
Plus 1, 2d6 plus 1. Yep.
Because it does an extra d6 of damage once per round.
Oh, right, for the trickery. Yeah.
Right. You get a boon and plus 1 d6 damage.
Perfect. All right. So that happened, and then on the other snake, it just slowly winding its way, like goes between Will's legs and like rears up above Morgan. Okay, now it's into slows. see. Oh,
Morgan and Will.
Morgan and Will. Will, you can speak, but you can't take an action. In fact, you can move. You're just you could
lethargic.
Move. You could move. You just can't take an action. Does that make sense?
Okay. Well, so what I wanted to do was to, and you can let me know which of these I can do, because I had two thoughts.
Sure.
One was wake up Morgan.
Okay.
And the other thought was take the jar of languages from Morgan and start speaking snake tongue to these snakes and try and get them to back off.
Okay, you could.
I love the second one. It's just so Harry Potter. It's wonderful. I hope it works.
You can try to get the here's what you can do. You can get the jar, but you'd have to go slow next turn. As a penalty, right? Because you don't really get an action, but you do have like a move, and that's kind of like a move and sort of like an action, but I'm giving you a
and you got to move carefully. It's a fragile thing too. So.
What if instead Will's action was to wake up Morgan, and Morgan used her action to use the jar to communicate with the snakes?
Because Will doesn't loses his action for the hypnotism gaze. That's what's happened. So you've lost your action for the round because of the hypnotic gaze.
Fucking snakes.
You're not necessarily immobilized, but it's because you're within the presence of the snakes, and they're that you have to make that challenge against them to see if you can resist the hypnotic gaze.
Okay, so
and mechanically, once you do resist the hypnotic gaze, you're immune to it. So like, Opie's figured out how to look at everything and nothing.
So basically, I can't wake Morgan up this round.
But you can get the jar this round.
If you choose to go slow next round.
Okay.
Or you don't even know if you can wake her next round. I say do the jar thing. It's just too cool not to.
Yeah, I'll do the jar thing.
All right, new round. Go ahead. Oh, sorry. And the last thing is the snake that fled from you, Opie. It goes even further away from you, and it's like coiled on the far side of the room, like just looking at you. Its tongue's going.
You stay the fuck over there.
And the one that's rearing above Morgan lashes out at her.
I'm gonna get pissed off.
All right, let's see. It's a melee.
This might wake her up.
What does prone on the character sheet do? Anything?
Yeah, bad things.
Prone. Lies on the ground. Can move through it. Strength and agility at the bane. Attack against. Get a boon.
Is immune to snakes. What? That's a great rule. Immune to snakes when you're prone.
To stand up. All right. So they get a boon against. And
because you're easier to hit.
Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh.
But don't forget the immune to snakes part.
But you do have your arcane armor.
I do.
And that must be the damage. D20. All right, let's see if it matters. What's your armor?
12 with my armor.
Let's see if the D6, this is the boon. Oh, chomp. Chomp into Morgan.
Fuck you, snake.
She takes a D6 plus 1 point of damage. She takes 5 points.
On the bright side, she just woke up.
She did just wake up. She went like this. She was like, her eyes go, and she sits up, and like this snake latched itself onto her hip.
Well,
make a strength challenge roll with a bane.
Okay.
She's gonna have to start lifting weights after this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's like on fire. Ah! That's really what woke you up.
One really good thing about
Take
this.
It's
4
the
more
poison.
points of damage.
Yeah, fucking poison.
There's one very good thing about this. And that this snake just bit a sorcerer who can explode.
Like, oh, get it off!
But
It's
a small room.
All right, new round. Are you guys going fast or slow?
Well, Ichabod, I assume, has to go. Ichabod has to go slow, I assume, because he's all noggined out.
He's not. He could go fast. This was because the hypnotism, you just lose, and you lose your action for that round.
Gotcha,
Now,
but I'm not immune to hypnotism though, because I didn't make my save.
Right. Now when you go to make your next action, you're gonna have to make that same challenge to see if you become suffer the hypnotic gaze. And I'm just rolling that into the fiction. That's what I did with the beginning part of it.
That's fine.
I'm just explaining to you guys some of the mechanics behind it, so you'd feel like you're not being railroaded, I guess. Maybe.
I never assume that.
No.
I am. You know what? I'm. Both my guys are gonna go fast because Morgan's in danger.
All right, fast. Will has to go slow. Why don't we start with Morgan, because she's in the most immediate, and yeah, like reaching down, and the snake's like latched onto your hip, and make a will check.
The other good news is if it's biting you, it can't hypnotize you.
It's got 2 heads.
Okay,
and
well,
its eyes are like looking up at you, like glassy and gold. But make a will challenge, Morgan.
Do I get a boon for the fact that I'm being blinded by the pain?
Oh. You don't need it.
You don't need it. You're like just.
She's angry.
All right, show us what happened, Morgan.
It's going sleep. Fuck you.
Yeah, so basically the snake bites Morgan, and you just hear this scream just rip from her lungs. And the other snakehead is like trying to hypnotize her to sleep, and it's just buffeted by the scream itself. And Morgan just, with one of her hands, just sends this beam of just burning light at this snake that's biting her.
Okay.
You see this energy coming, and then you see more energy coming and more energy coming. And those who saw what happened to Rodolfo realize what might be happening.
Okay.
Cover! Everybody!
All right, let's see that whatever. Let's see that spell description, and let's see whatever challenges you need to make against.
Okay.
I don't remember this spell.
Yeah, so I have to make a will attack roll against the target's agility, and on a success, it's 1d6 damage.
And its agility is 15.
Okay, and basically my sorcery talent, I get to add 1 boon to my roll and 1 bane to the target's save.
Doesn't really have a save in this instance, right? Because there's no save against the effect, but you do get a boon. And if you want, you can burn a fortune point would just allow you to convert that boon. So go ahead and make your will attack against their agility, target 15.
Okay. If I just hit the spell, it should work. And 1 boon for my sorcery.
Oh, you're so lucky. Did you see the 1?
Yeah.
Defense hit it and knocked it back to a 10. All right, that was great.
I like the way we all see the same die rolls too.
That's
great.
Yeah.
I mean, the same animation. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Okay, so it takes a d6 of damage. Nice.
And then, yep, I got 1 strain now. So at the end of the round, I might explode.
Oh, do you want to put a marker on the board to track your strain or anything like that?
No,
sure.
we want it to go away.
Okay.
We'll give her a Snickers bar. It always helps.
And you did you did 5 damage to this thing.
Yep.
It releases its grasp on you.
It's thinking, I was going to swallow this little girl. What the hell? It's a spellcaster.
What the? All right. Cool.
Oh, I know what I could do.
Ichabod.
Okay, so I have to make a. What'd you say? It's a.
Oh, a will save. A
will
will
save.
challenge. Pardon me.
Will challenge. Very good.
You made
Just
it.
make it. Yep.
Yep. You know what what these things are, and they have no power over you.
No, these are servants of the Dark Ones.
Okay, so what are you?
I'm
you're kind of halfway
hacking this.
between the. You're kind of halfway between the statue and Morgan and Will, but you could charge to melee.
I'm charging into
against
melee to
either.
help out. I'm going to charge into melee to protect Morgan.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack.
So she just screamed.
Ooh.
Yes!
See, their defense is 16. Did you beat it by 5? I think you did.
Beat it by 10. We didn't add it on his, but let's see.
Oh, the plus 20 result. I think you get an extra d6 on a 20 plus.
You're a warrior, right?
Yeah, when the total of your attack is 20 and a number at least high 5, and I do another d6 is what I do.
So you did 11 plus.
Plus another d6, baby.
Ooh,
17!
Killing
Drop
blow.
the girl!
It's
this thing just lights. I mean, his sword just glows like the white heat at the core of a forge, and it just comes down, leaving tracers behind, and just slices into the head as it comes up to bite, and it just hits it right behind the jaw, and clips into the neck. Just was that a killing blow?
It was absolutely a killing.
Oh, nice! It takes the head off, the one that's facing us
at the hinge of the jaw, right? As it's kind of opening up.
Right, and it just suddenly smells like barbecued chicken all of a sudden. Just
it probably tastes like barbecue chicken too.
Actually, snake does taste like chicken.
Okay.
Nice. Boy, the visuals on that was great.
Down to Opie.
Hold on, let me say goodnight to my girlfriend. All right. All right, Opie. You know how it's done. He's turned around he's facing the other one. Is it staying away from us?
It is. It's like kind of curled up in like, you know how a snake will sort of curl up into a coil or into a ball?
Yeah, and pull its head back inside.
And but the two heads are like looking out at you.
Guys, I think we need to get to the statue because that's what it's not near. And I saw it coming. We saw it coming off the statue. Plus, the statue is the only thing in the room besides the snakes.
It is, and the statue itself is this, this beautiful nude man, and his one hand is outstretched, like, like
in greeting.
Kind of, like almost in a. I guess he'd be bigger than you, kind of like.
Is he waving?
No, he's not reaching down. He's like reaching towards you with his palm up.
Could we reach his hand?
You could. It would be, like reaching up high to reach his hand.
Okay. I listen. When the last room we're in, I'll tell you what happened later. But Ichabod and I was holding onto his wrist when we moved, and I think that's why we ended up in the same place. I think if we're all holding on to each other, I don't mean tied to each other because that obviously didn't do shit. But if we're all holding on to each other, and I think we need to touch that statue, I think that will take us someplace.
Well, the tying on, when you guys went through the portal, did have an effect of being, you were all still tied up. It was the munching of the mushroom that created a separateness.
Right, but I don't know that.
Right, I'm just giving you some context. Sure.
Got you. Well, I knew the mushroom sent us somewhere separate, but Opie's thinking if we're all holding on to each other, there's a better chance.
Okay.
So
right. So you're like explaining, you're maybe sounds like you're explaining this to your other companions.
Right. So I was thinking out loud to him what I've been observing, and I think
keeping
this is what,
one eye on that snake.
damn straight, okay, both eyes on the snake, and while they make sure Morgan's okay, and they shake Will out of it. And now that he's got the urn, maybe he can talk to the snake. I don't know, or Morgan can.
I think Morgan will try and talk to the snake.
Limp over there, going, "You fuckers!"
But before she talks to the snake, because she has poison coursing through her body.
She does.
She is going to use her cure spell to remove the poison.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Go ahead and tick it down off your character sheet.
Well timed.
Yup.
I think she already did something this round. So it's into a new round. The other snake is just over there. It's not trying to get at you guys. You can tell it's badly hurt. There's one kind of crispy snake near the archway where you seem to have all gathered, taking stock of yourselves, maybe explaining where you had just been and where you had just come from.
Mm-hmm. And will go over to the crispy snake and see if there's any of the poison or venom still inside of it.
Are you going to try to harvest something from it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. If there's any of it left.
Sure. What will you put it in? Or are you just trying to see if you can't find its poison gland and whatnot? Can you give me an intellect challenge with a bane?
Okay. My natural lore talent, when it does challenge rolls regarding nature, plants, geography, or animals, gives me a boon. Would that allow me to cancel that out?
Yeah, that would make it flat.
Okay.
Yeah, you just don't deal with snakes this big normally, but it's still a snake.
Oh.
Sorry. I was too close to the jaw when I cut it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was hoping for some poison arrows.
There's another snake over there. Oh, you need to make a you need to make a will challenge because it's looking at you with fury.
Oh yeah. By the way, that's why Opie's got both eyes on the thing, because he's not fucking scared of it, or he's got a feeling that he's not going to get hypnotized.
Right.
It's a will check, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So you're kind of not looking at it. Sort of keep your eyes averted.
Well, do we want to talk to this creature?
I think it wouldn't hurt to try. It's always better to try and then say, "Fuck you, this isn't working. We're gonna grab this. We're gonna grab the statue."
That's true.
And my thought is, one of us reaches out and touches its hand while we're all holding, daisy chained or whatever.
I would agree with that.
Even though I have a feeling we're gonna end up in the mushroom room, but
probably. Okay. Let's be real.
It's okay.
So Morgan will take the jar from Will and look at the snake and just deadlock it straight in the eyes. Because she already knows that this creature has no power over her.
Okay.
And we'll begin trying to speak to it, or drawing upon the magic of the jar to change her words from the common tongue into something resembling some hissing and clicking of the tongue.
Just say it. Parcel tongue.
Sure. Roll a D100 for me.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. I don't care what happens. It was a great idea.
Oh yeah. So you're
6%.
Wow. You start whispering at it, start hissing at it, start speaking in the parcel tongue. And it hears you and it looks at you and it's like, "Back witch, come closer and I'll eat you. Swallow you like my brother should have. Flee this place. Why do you torment me? Leave me in my grief."
Your grief of what?
Slain my brother It is enough grief to last in eternity.
Well, I'll try to feel bad about it later. No, I won't.
You hear Morgan laugh in the parcel tongue, and it sounds very, very strange.
Make
we're a little freaked out.
Personality challenge with 2 Banes. It like springs at you.
Oh, I'm taking a fucking thing down.
All right, it's gonna get a special attack. And, oh yeah, it's a D6.
Well, that's why Opie's trying to stay between her and it. Besides, she's not going to get too close to it, is she?
Not ideally.
Close enough to speak at it, but it's like had been all coiled up, and it's like
springs.
It's like it like explodes like a taut spring.
It is a snake after all.
And it's like, and it's like its whole body is outlonged and elongated and stretched out to its full extension.
Well,
Opie,
not being surprised.
You say you're there trying to.
Yeah, Will isn't surprised by this either because he can't be surprised.
Right.
Neither one of us are.
So they're both like standing there with the rapiers out, just ready for the sword to the snake to eat the sword.
As soon as it moves, we're swinging.
Neither of you can be surprised. Is that
correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And I can't be hypnotized.
No. Everybody's resistant. So
yeah.
It springs, but the 2 of you were ready and expecting this, and Morgan wasn't. I mean, that's pretty scary and startling to her. And Ichabod's kind of behind in the back of the group, like what the. And the 2 of you like move in a flash of an instant. So you have 1 action. What will you do? Who will start?
I'd like to try to cut this thing directly in half.
Okay.
That's and I will cut it from the other side.
Okay, so I think you guys both make your rolls simultaneously.
Okay.
I will count it down, and then you click the button, or get your rolls ready to click the button, and we'll see how many dice we can chuck to the table at once.
All right.
And by the way, this is happening without a word from either one of them because we move silently when we're
right. And you have this Morgan gets up and she's got the jar and she's starting to speak to this thing, and
we both sort of inch around,
and you kind of take one look at each other, and like you're like ready.
Yeah.
I love it.
We both kind of back up so that we're both looking at each other like, I got it, you got it. Okay.
All right. So
Ichabod's looking at the statue and around the room.
Okay,
he's right there near her, but he's not really aware of it.
I'm ready.
Guys, do you have your rolls ready? I'll count it down for the button click.
I do.
And on 1, it'll be click. 3, 2, 1.
Boom!
Oh, damn.
Oh, I missed. Oh, 11 might hit.
Looking for 15s, but Will's long rapier strikes first and delivers the killing blow. Show us what happens, Will.
The snake uncoils itself and just launches like a rocket straight at Morgan. And you see Opie and Will dash. And at the last second, Opie kind of stumbles a little bit. And Will gets in there, and his rapier is just pointed straight out in front of Morgan, and the snake just eats the rapier.
Oh, it just impales itself on it.
Yep.
Nice. Very
nice. Slides down its one head, coming to an abrupt halt on the hilt, the guard of your rapier. Very cool. All right.
Ichabod's like, I didn't know that was going to happen. Opie and Will are like, yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
That was very cool. We saved the girl.
Save the girl.
And Will try and harvest the poison gland from this one.
Yeah, just the one check. So
Okay.
it may not even be granular. It could be
Mhm.
magic. It's weird.
Who knows? Yeah.
Okay. What will you do?
Aha.
Well, apparently put some poison in a pouch.
No, I'm sorry. It was just the one check against the earlier snake. I was saying there was no opportunity to recover poison from the second one.
Oh, very
Oh,
good.
I thought you had said that there was earlier. That's why.
Okay.
There was an opportunity for you to attempt it, but the anatomy was beyond you. What I meant to say,
Oh, okay.
and that there wouldn't be a second opportunity for you now to try on another creature of the same species.
Gotcha.
Maybe if you encountered more of these at a later date, then sure.
We'll do a lot of autopsies.
Might have a conversation about that too, but I'm sorry.
Let's not run into them.
Not in this instance.
Besides, it's not the most ideal situation to be looking for things. So.
No, it's not.
All right. So I still don't have a second plan. Ethan, do you want to try something different or have some insight what we should try besides my daisy chain and touching the statue?
No, I think we should daisy chain and then I'll touch the statue at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
So like form a ring around it and then just I'll touch it.
Mm-hmm. Arms interlocked, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys are back in the room of shadows. Actually, what I can do is mark these off. Hang on a second. You're not back in the room of shadows. Been there.
The good news is we know how to get through the rooms right now, the ones we've encountered.
Right.
We don't want to go back to the monolith room because those fucking rocks will start hitting us.
The only one we don't know for sure how to get out of is the one with the pillows that Morgan found herself in.
Right. And I don't know if these time out or not. They seem to be almost to shift us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if digging in the mushroom room transported us or just the fact we'd been there a certain amount of time transported us.
Right.
Let's see.
Like, it could have been that because Morgan fell asleep, she got transported or something.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys find yourself in a new place.
New place? Unfortunately, it's spelled with a G, so we're, a bunch of bison-like creatures running around. Oh, it's Slender Man. Crap.
All right, let's see what's this all about.
Or is that the statue at the statue was down here underneath the curtain, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The statue is south of you, and there was a token, which is kind of, I think you can see where you are, right?
Yes, but it looks like a big statue.
And let's see, you have a counter will for some reason, or what was this counter for?
I think we're using the will counter as the 4.
That's
the light spell.
Your rune expires, and you guys have been here for about an hour, so I'm gonna tick this.
Yeah, I'll take that down.
What's this yellow D6?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I think you just rolled it.
It's gone. Solve that problem.
It looks kind of like a guy standing with his arms up.
Yeah, it does. Sorry, I'm just skimming some notes.
Oh, that's fine. Take your time. We're still alive. I can read these. Boy, that snake room was good. That was a fun encounter. Well played there, Ethan.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
I hope it's as fun to listen to.
Yeah, I know.
And I hope Wills is winning the board games.
Mm-hmm. Winning all the board games, Mills.
Mm-hmm.
He says.
right, interesting. Curiouser and curiouser.
Curious or Georgia?
Well, I know what I'll do. That's fine. Just do it like that. All right. All right. You are now in this chamber, which is center of the room. There's a 12-foot tall clay statue, a man with his arms outstretched to his side. 3 waterfalls are spread around the statue. 2 are streaming a pink liquid from either outstretched hand and drain into the cracks of the floor, and the 3rd spews an orange sludge out of its mouth that bubbles through cracks in the floor. Oh, sorry. This one's coming from so the 2 outstretched hands have the pink liquid falling off of them, and from between his legs is an orange sludge that falls up towards the ceiling, like bubbling, like kind of molten.
And it's on the ground between his legs.
Uh-huh.
And dripping down from his hands is a pink liquid.
Yeah, I'll give you a quick sketch just to make sure we're on the same page. Do you see the sketch pad?
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Haley, knock it off.
But I love you and I wish to share the joy of my squeaky toy.
I don't want it. I don't like it.
That's Parker. This is the greatest noise ever. Isn't this the greatest noise ever? I love this noise.
Thing. Thank you, Dad, for getting me this thing.
I'll be right back.
And I'm sharing my joy with you.
It's wonderful. Delete this thing. There.
It's gone.
Finally.
I like that linen texture in the background. It's almost like ancient papyrus. Papyrus, excuse me.
Papyrus. I guess I still got it there. For some reason I thought I killed it. I think this is actually the default one. They must have changed it.
Well, it's working.
Not bad. I'll just be zoomed all the way out because it's fine. We've got the big man. I need to be on the right layer. I mean, drawing.
Got a bunch of stuff I got to photograph now.
Oh, I know why I'm not drawing, because I can't. Gotcha. I wasn't on the canvas. Here's the man. Oops.
Okay.
Cops got better things to do than get killed.
What?
I was just thinking of a Big Trouble in Little China. We should call the cops. Cops got better things to do than get killed.
All right. So that's sort of what's happening. The pink ones are falling down from its outstretched fingers and hands, and the orange stuff is like this something that's coming up from the floor itself and then like falling towards the ceiling, falling up. That makes sense.
So almost like vapors, but much thicker.
Reverse waterfall.
That's it.
Well, I don't think we want to touch it.
I don't want to touch anything in this place.
I think that, why don't we stop here? I think this is a good place. We've got another 20 minutes. Well, we could probably do another room if you guys are, up for it?
I don't mind stopping and discussing after it if you want, and that way it gives Nils a chance to come back into this truly perplexing situation.
Yeah, and I'm getting to a slightly challenged point at the adventure, and I need to do a couple of on-the-fly fixes. But I think we're in a good place to stop right now.
I think narratively speaking, it's a really cool place to stop. It to be a full page. It would be a full page, last page, with the heroes almost silhouetted in the foreground. Always drawn by John Byrne. Everything I think of is John Byrne.
The heroes. Let's draw the heroes on here.
Yeah. I guess we're tiny.
Like that.
Yeah, we're little.
Cool.
You can't even see Morgan.
Well, why don't we start with hits and misses? Ethan, how about you? You want to start tonight?
Sure. I think for a hit, there were a lot of really, really great moments that I could like really visualize in my head. And so from a role-playing aspect, it was a lot of fun.
Cool.
I liked the fact that we kept teleporting ourselves all around the tower and just had no clue what was really going on.
And still don't.
I think my only miss was probably not having Nils.
Not having Nils, yeah,
that's a fair miss. That was mine too.
Yeah. How about you, Peter? Hits and misses?
Just some great role playing. I was just saying that snake encounter, boy, it was dramatic. Just like, again, theater of the mind, totally knew what was going on. Actually, the scene before it with Opie and Ichabod 2 running with the stones, I just had this very clear image of this run, just diving for the statue, and the next thing you know, there's these giant snakes, and that fight was really impressive. And then I loved the role playing with her talking to the snake. And
oh yeah, that was super cool.
Yeah,
and then
I'd say
him, and then the failed personality check, and it just tries to make this final desperate last attack that
Will and Opie are ready
just
for.
Thwart. Yeah,
Will just takes it out with a rapier.
Yeah, very, very cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Which we could start calling the Serpent's Fang now.
Oh.
Ooh.
You like
Serpent's
that?
Tooth? Serpent's
I like
Tooth.
that.
It's a rapier after all, right?
It is, definitely. Any misses for you tonight, Peter?
The only one, it really was no Nils.
No Nils.
I got a little frustrated with my technology early on, but that just took a second. But yeah, no Nils is really the only miss, because it was really great session, really.
Yeah, so for me, the big hit was the pacing of the session I felt good. I mean, it felt like that was moving. And I really loved when you guys got separated.
Yeah.
And we had like 3 or 4 different things going on and just moving, okay, what are you doing? Now what are you doing? Now what are you doing?
Yeah, by the way, well handled.
That was
well handled.
That was and I think it kept everybody engaged too, right? Because we didn't take too long in one split scene until we went to the next one, and then and there are all these different things happening in all those different scenes. So that was for me, that was fun to see unfold, I guess.
The weird thing is I tend to see all of this as comic books personally, more than TV or anything else. I see everything as a comic book, and you really paced it like a writer very nicely.
The miss, I think, was getting into some of the mechanics about the snake hypnosis, probably more than was needed to be said, and then not being clear about the search for the poison gland. But I think we got.
That's pretty damn minor.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, that might be my self-critique, I guess, of
gotcha.
From the session tonight. So let's check about boons as
you want
written.
to? Yeah. So I looked at that.
Yeah.
So
What
basically,
page? Any idea?
So
and by the way,
point
just for the record, I do
is-
want to say that anything I say, if you're like, oh, you can't do that, I always like, okay, that's fine, or oh, that's a good idea. So I always assume that whatever you call is what I'm going to do.
Oh,
So
sure.
what is the actual rule, though?
So
Yeah.
basically what it actually says for this is basically you can spend fortune on the result of a d20. When it's a failure, you can make it a success.
Oh, you can convert a failure to a success. So it's like an auto thing.
Okay,
so like you miss, and then you can use a fortune point to have it succeed.
So we used it correctly.
So you can do that. You can do when any player, including you, rolls a d6, you can expend a fortune point to replace the number on the die.
You can help a friend on a fortune roll.
Right.
Or sorry, on a boon.
The third thing you can do is when another player rolls a d20, you can expend fortune to grant 2 boons to the roll.
Oh, okay. So to a friend. So it's like, so you're like kind of encouraging or helping out. So even if you don't have fortune as a character, you can use
someone who does can.
I like that. I'm going to take some notes about this.
So actually, we did do it right. We just didn't. Well, we didn't do the mechanic right. We had the spirit right because you said, "No, I like that. We're going to go with it." When we should have just rolled two boons then.
Okay, so +1 fortune to auto pass, auto succeed.
Yep.
Which actually Ichabod could have done instead of
Right, and then what? Sorry, what was the second one, Ethan?
The second one is when any player rolls a d6, you can convert it to a 6.
Oh, any d6. Auto 6, right?
Yep.
Right.
And that's any player.
Any player.
Yeah. Right.
Which is a pretty cool thing too, right? Like,
especially if you got someone who's banked some fortune points, and someone else is on the edge, and
then the last one is
add 2 boons to a friend.
Any friend +2 boons, which is pretty damn cool too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing? How are you guys fixed for fortune points with characters there?
Well,
let's see.
I think Ichabod might be down to 1. Yeah, Ichabod's down to 1, but Opie's had some. He's had some good fortune, and even spending 1 to help out Ichabod, I have 4.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Will has 2, and Morgan has none.
Okay.
Yeah, Opie will stick close to her.
Everybody except for Opie gets +1 fortune for just a great session tonight. And Opie, you're already fat and
he's fine.
Cool.
Yeah, much fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Session.
That was a blast.
Let me knock down the. Let me close up the session. Thanks for watching. If you joined us this evening for OTNG Season 2, Episode 11.
Boom.